Most people believe that wealth comes from working harder, moving faster, or chasing more opportunities. They imagine that if they scatter their energy wide enough, something will eventually click. But the truth, revealed again and again by Napoleon Hill, is the exact opposite. Wealth is not attracted to scattered effort, it is drawn irresistibly to focused energy. Think of two men. One spends his days chasing every new idea that crosses his path. Today it is one business, tomorrow it is another, next week it is a new investment or side hustle. He is busy, but his results are thin, his progress fragile, his confidence shrinking. The other man picks a single aim, fixes his entire mind upon it, and builds with all his energy. He is not faster, not more talented, not luckier, but because he is focused, he attracts opportunities, allies, and wealth that the drifter can only dream of. This is the great paradox of success. The more directions you scatter your energy, the weaker you become. But the more deeply you focus, the stronger you grow, until the world itself seems to bend to your determination. Napoleon Hill called it the power of concentration. He wrote that the richest men in history were not men of scattered ambition but men of burning focus, who aimed their thought like a beam of light and set their chosen field on fire. Today, you are going to learn that secret. You will see why lack of focus is the hidden cause of delay, frustration, and wasted potential. And you will see why deep focus is not only a habit but a magnet that pulls wealth into your life. By the end of this message, you will understand how to force your mind into focus, how to protect it against distraction, and how to direct it so powerfully that opportunities cannot help but move toward you. This is not theory. This is not empty encouragement. This is a promise. If you learn to focus deeply, you will attract wealth, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because focus transforms every effort into multiplied results. The scattered man drifts. The focused man builds. The choice is yours. Failure rarely announces itself with a crash. More often, it creeps in silently through distraction. You do not wake up one morning bankrupt of wealth and confidence. Instead, it leaks away in countless small moments of scattered focus, checking messages when you should be building, jumping to a new idea before the last one has matured, saying yes to every invitation, leaving your goals half-finished. By the end of the month, you look back and wonder where the time has gone, where the energy is gone, where the results are hiding. This is the true cost of distraction. Not only wasted hours, but wasted years. A person who divides his attention across 10 things creates little progress in any of them. He becomes the jack of all trades and master of none, admired for starting many things but respected for finishing nothing. He is constantly busy yet constantly broke, always moving but never arriving. Imagine the pain of such a life. You put in effort day after day, but your progress is invisible because your focus is divided. You feel the exhaustion of work without the reward of wealth. Others surpass you not because they are smarter but because they are more concentrated. You watch opportunities slip through your hands because your attention was elsewhere. You see colleagues rise in influence while you remain stuck in place. And every lost opportunity carries an invisible cost: the wealth you could have created, the freedom you could have won, the confidence you could have built. Distraction is not neutral, it is destructive. Every time you allow yourself to scatter, you pay a price. You pay with lost momentum. You pay with diluted effort. You pay with goals that remain half alive, draining you without ever feeding you. Most tragically, you pay with self-belief. Deep down, you begin to doubt whether you are capable at all, when the truth is that your only crime was lack of focus. Napoleon Hill warned that drifting, living without focus, is the enemy of success. The drifter is easy prey for failure because his mind is never fixed on one definite purpose. He spends his days chasing distractions and his nights haunted by the feeling that something is slipping away. And he is right, every day of scattered attention is a day of wealth lost forever. Consider the metaphor of a leaking bucket. No matter how much water you pour in, it never fills because it drips away from countless small holes. A distracted mind is that bucket. Effort goes in, but results leak out. Over years, the bucket never fills, and the man carrying it remains thirsty, no matter how hard he works. The pain of distraction is not only financial. It is emotional. It is waking up with regret. It is looking at half-finished projects on your desk, half-formed ideas in your notes, and half-earned trust in your relationships. It is hearing the whisper of wasted potential every time you sit still. That whisper grows louder with age, until it becomes the roar of regret. You could have been more, if only you had focused. This is the disease of our age. The world rewards distraction. Notifications, noise, endless choices, every force pulls your mind outward, splitting it into fragments. But no man ever built wealth on fragments. Wealth is built on wholeness, on deep concentration of thought and effort. To allow yourself to remain distracted is to volunteer for mediocrity. The price of distraction is heavy, but it is not obvious until years have passed. That is why it is so dangerous. You may feel you are working hard, but without focus, you are building sandcastles at the edge of the tide, structures that look impressive for a moment but wash away before they can become anything lasting. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you started something with excitement, only to abandon it halfway because another shiny idea stole your attention? How many times have you sat down to work, only to let your focus scatter across a dozen small tasks until nothing meaningful was done? Each of those moments carries a hidden bill. Add them together, and the cost is staggering: lost wealth, lost years, lost belief in yourself. That is the pain of a life without focus. And until you confront it, you cannot escape it. Napoleon Hill wrote with striking clarity, "Concentration of effort is the key to all achievement." In his view, scattered effort is wasted effort. The man who touches many things lightly builds nothing. The man who commits himself wholly to one definite purpose multiplies his power until it becomes irresistible. Hill observed this principle in every great fortune maker of his time. Henry Ford did not divide his mind across dozens of industries, he focused on one aim: building affordable cars for the common man. Andrew Carnegie poured his concentration into steel, not into chasing every possible opportunity. Thomas Edison dedicated his energy to the mastery of invention, repeating thousands of experiments on a single problem until it yielded. Each of these men was wealthy not because they did many things, but because they did one thing with burning focus. Why does this principle work? Because focus intensifies energy. A river spreads wide may look large, but it flows shallow and weak. When that same river is narrowed into a channel, it cuts through rock and generates power. So it is with the mind. A distracted mind is like a wide, shallow stream. A focused mind is like a laser beam, concentrated, precise, unstoppable. Hill explained that the universe itself seems to favor the focused man. When your thoughts are fixed upon a definite purpose, your subconscious begins to organize every resource to serve it. You see opportunities you would have ignored. You attract allies who share your vision. You feel a persistence that carries you through obstacles. Wealth is not accidental, it is attracted to the magnet of focus. He also warned that drifting is the greatest enemy. In his book Outwitting the Devil, Hill described the drifter as someone who never holds his mind on one thing long enough to bring it into reality. The drifter is easy prey for fear, doubt, and failure because his mind is open to every distraction. Without focus, he is like a ship without a rudder, moved by every current, but arriving nowhere. The disciplined man, on the other hand, lives by concentration. He chooses his aim, fixes his thought, and closes the door to distraction. Hill called this definiteness of purpose the master key to riches. Once the purpose is set, every decision becomes simpler. Choices are filtered: does this serve my aim, or not? If yes, he acts. If no, he discards. That filter is what gives focus its power, and that power is what attracts wealth. Think of the difference in results. Two men work the same hours. One divides his time across many small projects. He grows exhausted but achieves little. The other invests the same hours into one concentrated effort. At first, his progress seems slow, but soon his work compounds. His results attract attention. Attention brings opportunity. Opportunity brings wealth. It is not luck, it is focus. Hill's principle is simple yet demanding: fix your mind on one definite purpose, concentrate all effort on it, and persist until it yields. Those who obey this law rise. Those who ignore it drift. Wealth does not come to the man who dabbles. Wealth comes to the man who decides, concentrates, and endures. This is the principle that separates success from failure. And once you understand it, you cannot look at distraction the same way again. To scatter your focus is to scatter your future. To concentrate your focus is to concentrate your fortune. There are two kinds of people in this world, the drifter and the focused builder. Both breathe the same air, both live under the same sky, both hold the same 24 hours each day. Yet their destinies are worlds apart. The difference is not talent, not luck, not circumstance, it is focus. The drifter lives on the wrong path. He begins projects with excitement but abandons them at the first sign of difficulty. He moves from one opportunity to another, always searching for something easier, always distracted by the promise of quick rewards. His bookshelf is full of half-read books, his desk is covered with unfinished notes, his mind is crowded with ideas he never pursued. Outwardly, he looks busy. Inwardly, he knows he is drifting. Napoleon Hill warned that drifting is the silent destroyer of potential. A drifter never says, "I choose failure." Instead, he simply avoids choosing anything at all. He lets circumstances choose for him. He allows distractions to dictate his days. The result is a life of half-built bridges, none of them strong enough to carry him across to success. Contrast this with the disciplined man who walks the right path. He too faces temptations, distractions, and doubts. But he chooses focus. He decides what matters, and he holds his mind on it with persistence. While the drifter's attention scatters across dozens of trivial pursuits, the focused man pours himself into one definite purpose. His progress may look slower at first, but over time his results tower above the drifter's scattered fragments. Picture the difference. The drifter spends his evening switching from task to task, checking messages, chasing minor urgencies. Hours pass, and he has nothing lasting to show. The disciplined man spends the same hours locked onto his chosen work. At first it is difficult, but then momentum builds. He finishes what he starts. He earns the confidence of others. He turns effort into mastery, mastery into opportunity, and opportunity into wealth. The wrong path seduces with comfort. It whispers, "Try everything, commit to nothing. Keep your options open." It feels safe because you never risk failure if you never go deep. But in avoiding depth, you also avoid success. The drifter ends up with a life full of starts but empty of finishes, full of effort but empty of wealth. Hill's writings reveal the tragedy of drifting. It feels active but produces nothing. The drifter confuses motion with progress, noise with productivity, busyness with achievement. But the scoreboard of life is not written in effort, it is written in results. And results belong only to the focused. Every moment you scatter your energy, you are stepping onto the wrong path. Every time you choose distraction over focus, you are building the habits of the drifter. And habits, once hardened, shape destiny. The drifter's destiny is regret. The focused man's destiny is wealth. The choice could not be clearer. The wrong path leads to exhaustion, frustration, and lost years. The right path, discipline, focus, concentration, leads to mastery, confidence, and riches. One road ends in mediocrity, the other in abundance. Which will you choose? Why does focus create wealth? Why is it that one man, concentrating his energy on a single aim, achieves 10 times more than another man who divides himself across many tasks? The answer lies in the mechanism of focus, the way it transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary power. Think of sunlight. Spread across the sky, it warms the earth but does not burn. But when concentrated through a magnifying glass, it becomes a flame strong enough to ignite wood. The energy was always present. It was focus that turned warmth into fire. So it is with your mind. Thoughts scattered produce little. Thoughts concentrated on a definite purpose create force that can set the world ablaze. Napoleon Hill explained that the mind is like a broadcasting station. Every thought you hold with intensity sends out vibrations that attract matching opportunities. But when your thoughts are scattered, one day here, one day there, the signal is weak, confused, easily drowned out. When your mind is fixed on one definite aim, the signal becomes clear and strong. The world responds. People sense your certainty. Opportunities gravitate toward you. Wealth flows to the man who knows exactly what he wants and directs his whole being toward it. This mechanism works through cause and effect. Focus leads to clarity. Clarity simplifies decisions. Simplified decisions reduce hesitation. Less hesitation builds speed. Speed compounds into momentum. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence attracts allies. Allies create leverage. And leverage multiplies results. At every link in the chain, the starting point is focus. Break focus, and the chain collapses. Keep focus, and the chain carries you upward. Consider also the mechanism of habit. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen a mental muscle. At first, it feels heavy. Your mind wants to wander. But as you practice holding it steady, you discover you can go deeper, stay longer, achieve more. What once required discipline becomes automatic. This is why focused men often seem unstoppable. They have trained focus until it no longer feels like effort. The mechanism of focus also protects you. Distractions are thieves that steal your future. But a focused purpose acts like armor. When you know your aim, you can instantly reject what does not serve it. You no longer waste time deciding whether to pursue every shiny option. Your purpose decides for you. That filter guards your energy, ensuring that every drop is poured into the bucket of your chosen goal instead of leaking away. Think of two workers building a wall. One scatters bricks in every direction, here a few, there a few. At the end of the week, he has piles of scattered stones. The other places every brick on the same foundation. At first, the wall looks small. But over time, it rises strong and unshakable. Wealth works the same way. The man who scatters his focus leaves only fragments. The man who concentrates builds a fortress. Hill's principle of focus is not mystical, it is mechanical. Just as fire follows concentration of light and power follows concentration of water, wealth follows concentration of mind. It is the natural result of energy directed without distraction. So when you force your mind into focus, you are not hoping for luck. You are activating a mechanism as predictable as gravity. Focus is the lens, wealth is the flame. Scatter your mind, and your power warms but never ignites. Concentrate your mind, and your power burns so brightly that wealth cannot help but be drawn to its light. Principles inspire, but actions transform. Napoleon Hill insisted that knowledge is useless until it is organized into definite steps. So if focus is the mechanism of wealth, how do you force your mind into it day after day? Here is a 5-step action system that turns the philosophy of concentration into daily practice. Step 1. Define one definite purpose. Hill called this the master key. You cannot focus on everything. You must choose one thing. Write it down in a single sentence so sharp it cuts away all vagueness. Instead of "I want to be successful," say "I will build an online business that earns $100,000 a year." Instead of "I want to be healthier," say "I will run 5 kilometers every morning." The mind loves clarity. Without it, it drifts. With it, it locks in. When your purpose is definite, focus becomes natural because your energy has a target. Step 2. Build a daily ritual of focus. Focus does not happen by accident, it is trained. Create a ritual that signals your mind to enter concentration. For some, it may be sitting at the same desk at the same hour with distractions shut off. For others, it may be a 5-minute breathing practice before beginning work. The ritual matters less than the repetition. Over time, your brain learns, "When I do this, I focus." Hill said that discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Ritual is the structure that holds that bridge steady. Step 3. Eliminate distractions ruthlessly. A man cannot serve 2 masters, and a mind cannot focus on 2 tasks. Every notification, every unnecessary commitment, every indulgence in trivial tasks robs you of wealth. Make a list of the top 5 distractions in your life: social media, constant email, meaningless meetings, toxic relationships, clutter. Then cut them down with no mercy. Replace endless checking with scheduled blocks. Replace interruptions with boundaries. Replace clutter with clarity. Remember, distraction is not harmless, it is the assassin of wealth. Guard your focus as if it were gold, because it is. Step 4. Practice deep work in blocks. Hill taught that persistence comes from habit. To build focus, practice it in blocks of time. Start with 25 or 30 minutes of undivided attention on one task. No switching, no checking, no wandering. When the timer ends, take a short break. Then repeat. Over time, expand your blocks to 60 or even 90 minutes. This is the practice of deep work, pushing your mind into deeper levels of concentration. Each block is a training session. Each block forges your identity as someone who can go deep when others skim the surface. Step 5. Review and reinforce every night. Focus is strengthened by feedback. At the end of each day, take 5 minutes to review. Did I act on my definite purpose? Did I guard my attention? Where did I drift? Where did I succeed? Write it down. Celebrate every block of deep work, no matter how small. Correct every drift. Then reinforce your purpose by reading it aloud before bed. Hill encouraged his readers to write and speak their definite aim daily because repetition engraves it into the subconscious. Nightly review ensures that each day adds another brick to your wall of focus. These 5 steps form a closed system. Purpose gives direction. Ritual triggers concentration. Elimination protects it. Deep work builds it. Review reinforces it. Practiced together, they create a cycle that grows stronger with each passing day. Imagine the power of 30 days with this system. You begin with scattered energy. But as you repeat these steps, you notice something shift. Distractions lose their hold. Your work deepens. Confidence grows. Wealth begins to follow because your energy is no longer leaking, it is concentrated. Napoleon Hill taught that riches respond to definiteness of purpose backed by persistent concentration. This 5-step system is how you bring that principle into your own life. Focus is not a mystery. It is a choice, a discipline, a habit. And when you practice it daily, it becomes your greatest wealth-building asset. No man ever builds focus without meeting resistance. Napoleon Hill made this clear: every step toward discipline awakens equal and opposite forces that try to pull you back. Distractions are not accidents, they are organized resistance. If you know they are coming, you can prepare counters. Resistance 1, the comfort of ease. The first enemy of focus is comfort. Your body and mind want to avoid the strain of concentration. Reading one page of a book feels harder than scrolling through 100 posts. Writing a single meaningful sentence feels heavier than sending 10 thoughtless messages. Hill wrote that the human tendency is to drift because drifting is easy. But ease is the path of poverty. Counter: train yourself to seek discomfort as proof of growth. When the task feels heavy, say, "This is the weight that builds my mind." Start small but finish strong. Over time, your brain learns to associate discomfort with progress, not pain. Resistance 2, the noise of distraction. The world is loud. Notifications, entertainment, endless demands for attention, they compete for your focus every moment. The drifter welcomes them, because they excuse him from deep work. The focused man recognizes them as thieves. Counter: build walls around your focus. Turn off alerts. Work in silence. Use tools that block distractions. Let people know your boundaries. Protect your hours as you would protect gold. Because in truth, every undisturbed hour is a brick of gold in your fortune. Resistance 3, the fear of failure. Concentration exposes you. When you give your full attention to one thing, you risk discovering you are not as capable as you hoped. So the mind invents excuses to scatter. I'm multitasking, it says. But the real reason is fear. Counter: face fear with action. Hill declared, "Do the thing you fear, and the death of fear is certain." Every time you stay in focus despite fear, you prove to yourself that you can. Courage grows, and fear loses its voice. Resistance 4, the drain of willpower. Focus feels strong at first, but as hours pass, mental energy fades. You begin to wander. You tell yourself you will return later, but later never comes. This is not weakness, it is the natural fatigue of the mind. Counter, use structure, not willpower. Work in blocks. Rest strategically. Alternate intensity with renewal. Hill advised persistence through habit, not through force alone. Build routines that carry you when willpower fails. Resistance 5, the temptation of immediate rewards. Distraction often wears the mask of urgency. The email, the message, the new idea, each offers instant satisfaction. Focus offers delayed wealth. The drifter takes the small coin now and loses the treasure later. Counter, anchor your mind to your long-term vision. Write it, speak it, see it daily. When temptation arises, ask, does this serve my definite purpose? If not, reject it. Remind yourself that every no to distraction is a yes to wealth. Resistance is inevitable, but defeat is optional. Each distraction, each fear, each temptation is not a wall but a test. Pass the test, and your focus grows stronger. Fail the test, and you drift. Hill taught that success is reserved for those who persist despite opposition. So expect resistance. Welcome it as the sign that you are on the right path. And meet it with counters so firm that distraction has no chance. For when resistance breaks and focus holds, wealth follows. Philosophy becomes power only when it is practiced. Napoleon Hill insisted that persistence and definiteness of purpose must be drilled into daily life until they become habit. So here is a 30-day plan to rewire your mind for focus. It is divided into 4 weeks, each with a clear mission. Follow it with discipline, and by the end of 30 days, you will not recognize the strength of your own concentration. Week 1, clear the ground. Your first mission is to prepare the soil. You cannot plant the seed of focus in a field overrun with weeds. This week is about elimination. Write down your definite purpose in 1 sentence. Identify your top 5 distractions. Remove at least 2 of them completely, delete apps, block sites, cut obligations. Create 1 daily ritual that signals your brain, now I focus. By the end of this week, your environment and schedule will no longer be an enemy but an ally. You will feel lighter, as if a weight has been lifted. Week 2, build the muscle. Now that the ground is clear, begin training. Focus is a muscle, it strengthens with use. Commit to 2 blocks of 25 minutes of deep work each day. During each block, turn off everything else. Work only on your definite purpose. Keep a simple log, how long you stayed focused, what you accomplished. At first, it may feel hard. Your mind will wander. That is normal. Bring it back each time. Every return is a repetition, every repetition builds strength. Week 3, extend the depth. By now, you have tasted the power of focus. This week you will go deeper. Expand your blocks to 45 minutes or even 60. Reduce breaks to only what is necessary. Each morning, speak your definite purpose aloud to anchor your mind. You will notice that distractions lose their grip. Tasks that once felt overwhelming become clear. Confidence rises. This is the compounding effect of focus. Week 4, identity shift. The final week is about becoming the person for whom focus is natural. You are not trying anymore, you are living it. Each night, review your progress. Celebrate every focused hour. Each day, add 1 affirmation, I am a man of focus. Wealth comes to me because I direct my mind without distraction. Teach someone else 1 principle of focus. Sharing reinforces your own mastery. By the end of this week, you will not just have practiced focus, you will have become focused. It will feel strange to scatter your energy, because your identity has shifted. This 30-day plan is not the end. It is the beginning. Once you see what 30 days can do, imagine 90, imagine a year. Wealth does not arrive in a day, but it always arrives to the man who builds the habit of focus day after day. Hill said that riches are the offspring of persistence applied to a definite purpose. This plan gives you the persistence, the purpose, and the practice. Follow it, and in 30 days, you will not only attract wealth, you will deserve it. Focus is the magnifying glass of the mind. Scatter it and you waste energy, concentrate it and you ignite wealth. Through one definite purpose, daily rituals, ruthless elimination of distractions, deep work blocks, and nightly review, you train your mind into discipline until focus becomes your second nature. Napoleon Hill revealed that riches flow not to the drifting mind but to the focused one, and when you direct your thought with persistence, wealth cannot help but be drawn to you. Read these words aloud, not as wishes but as commands. Speak them slowly, with force, until they echo in your mind. I choose one definite purpose, and I direct all my energy toward it. I guard my mind from distraction, and I welcome the discipline of focus. I enter deep work with courage, and I persist when comfort calls me away. Each day I grow stronger in concentration. Each night I review and reinforce my path. I am not a drifter. I am a man of focus. Wealth is drawn to me because my mind is unwavering, my purpose is clear, and my actions are consistent. This is my identity. This is my power. This is my destiny. Focus without action is still drift. You have heard the principles, the plan, the affirmations. Now it is time to prove that your mind can act with clarity. Write in the comments, I choose focus. These 3 words are your first act of discipline, your public declaration that distraction no longer owns you. Share your city and the time you are listening. Let this space become a map of minds across the world training themselves in focus, each one refusing to scatter energy. If this message has strengthened you, do not keep it to yourself. Like this video, share it with someone drifting in delay, and subscribe so you never miss the next teaching. Every action you take here, writing, sharing, subscribing, is not for the algorithm. It is for your identity. Each choice reinforces the habit of focus. Discipline is not something you wait for, it is something you do. Start by doing this now. You have learned the power of focus, how to direct your mind until wealth is drawn to you. But there is a greater challenge waiting, not just to focus, but to persist. In the next episode, we will explore the principle of persistence, how to endure longer than fear, longer than fatigue, longer than doubt, until freedom is won. Napoleon Hill wrote that persistence is to character what carbon is to steel, and without it, even the sharpest focus will break. So subscribe now and turn on the bell. Do not leave your growth to chance, make it certain. The journey continues with the next step, persist longer to win freedom.